Welcome to 10 Career Questions. My name is Kevin Abnell, and I'm the Executive Director of the York County Alliance for Learning. This video is part of a series of interviews where we speak to various professionals working within each of the 16 nationally recognized career clusters. The purpose of this series is to get to know people working within each career cluster and to help promote a better understanding of various career paths. Resources like this video are intended to help promote career awareness and career exploration as students move closer to making important career decisions. Today, we'll be speaking to someone who works within the Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics career cluster. This career cluster is focused on planning, management, and movement of people, materials, and goods by road, pipeline, air, rail, and water. This cluster also covers related professional support services such as transportation infrastructure planning and management, logistics services, as well as mobile equipment and facility maintenance. Today's interview is being presented by York College of Pennsylvania, and we sincerely thank them for their support.
Thank you for being here today. Welcome to 10 Career Questions. We're just going to jump right in with question one. What is your name and who do you work for?
Hi, my name is Mike Fischer. I work for RLS Logistics.
Great. Now, what's your job title and what do you do for that company?
So my job title right now is a general manager. I manage 4 facilities across a network of warehouses in southern New Jersey, as well as a warehouse in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and one out in Salt Lake City, Utah.
All right. Now, for those that may not know exactly what transportation logistics entails, could you just describe the industry, just basic description of the industry that you work in?
Yeah, so our industry is specific to the cold chain, which is all frozen and fresh food distribution. So -10 degrees is where we operate in the cold chain. And in the fresh distribution network, it's about 34 degrees. And what we do is warehouse, ship, and distribute goods for our customers who are the food manufacturers that you will actually buy groceries from in the grocery store.
Great. Now, how long have you worked in that industry and what were some of the past roles that you might have had working in that industry?
I'm coming on 4 years in this industry. I started as a intro to operations manager, worked up to an operations manager, and then was promoted to a GM within the last 2 years. Before that, I was an industrial engineer that was kind of almost doing junior level consulting across various industries.
Oh, great. So what kind of training or education would you, or have you gone through, and maybe what would others have to go through to get the type of job that you have right now?
So as we mentioned, York College of Pennsylvania, I studied supply chain operations management. I thought it was very well suited for my career path now. As well as, you can go into various certifications. APIX has a lot of various certifications that you don't necessarily need a degree for, and gives you a great background of this field.
Gotcha. So you could theoretically move in at an entry level position and just get various certifications as you go along, if you wanted to go that route.
Absolutely. We have a lot of great stories at our company where someone came in as an entry-level forklift operator and now managing an entire warehouse themselves. So, a lot of room for growth and improvement. It's really about hard work.
That's great. Speaking of hard work, that's a great segue. The next thing I wanted to ask, we oftentimes talk to students about soft skills, or we like to call them now essential skills, because we like to really hammer home that you can't get by without them. What are some personality traits or some characteristics of people that you've seen be successful in this field?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, the fact that we are dealing with people day in and day out, not necessarily sitting behind computers, but you're, literally physically interacting with people is empathy is a really great skill set. To be able to empathize with someone's situation on a day-to-day basis will prevail you in this career, because anything that we do isn't necessarily rocket science, right? I don't want to dumb it down, but we're moving freight around. But the hard part of our jobs is dealing with people. If you can empathize with people, connect with them, gain respect, it will move you a long way in this career path.
That's great. As I mentioned before, we're doing about 16 of these with the different career clusters, and it's interesting. No matter what the job, you kind of hear the same things come out. And empathy has been mentioned a couple times, or just being able to understand your client or your customer, and or your coworkers, and understanding how everything works together and understanding their point of view. So that's great.
Yeah.
Mike, what would you say is the best part about your job?
Honestly, it's dealing with people. I really do love it. There's any one of my sites, there's over 100 people. I love getting all the way down to the ground floor, interacting with people all the way up to the higher ups in the company, and our clients as well. We have over 100 clients throughout our network. Sometimes it can be, painful, tough conversations, but most of the time it's always good. And I just love interacting with people for the most part.
That's great. I hate to take that positive and flip it a little bit here, but what would you say is the most challenging part of your job, or maybe just the industry in general?
Yeah, I mean, the challenging parts are just tough time windows, right? Sometimes around the holidays with us, especially for food, we are putting way more things into our schedule than is physically possible, which causes errors, causes failures. So just really timelines is really tough for us. And then again, as I said, it was one of my favorite things about the job is dealing with people. It's not always easy. There's tough situations internally as well as externally with clients. So kind of a twofold answer there.
Gotcha. So again, keeping in mind the majority of the people watching this, the intended audience would be high school students. So given that, in the next 1 to 5 years, what do you think the career outlook is looking like? Do you think there's going to be some decent job opportunities in this field, or does it seem like it's like the hiring rate's going to slow down a little bit?
I think it's on the upward growth path, and there's going to be a lot of job opportunities in this field. Not limited to just warehousing and transportation. There's also subsectors within this industry like e-commerce fulfillment, which, if we all know what Amazon is basically direct-to-consumer shipping, and this area is absolutely exploding. We opened up a business unit in our company about 3 years ago, and it's 90% growth in those 3 years.
Wow.
So that section alone, we've hired 20 people to 180 people in 3 years. So you could just imagine there's a lot of room for opportunity, as from an entry level position all the way up to supervisor management. So exciting times.
That's great. And I know just in our area here of York County, because I imagine most people watching this are from the York, Pennsylvania area. It seems like it's a pretty growing industry in this area as well. I know up 83, there's all sorts of warehouses that people don't even realize what's happening. And there's lots of product being moved through there every day that we don't even realize necessarily.
Yeah. And the technology behind it is just evolving so rapidly that jobs are evolving with it. So it's very, very exciting. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what the jobs are going to look like in 10 years, but I know there will be jobs because, as consumers, we want goods, faster. So therefore these are more prevalent, in the near future.
Right. And that's great. And, that's something also we talk about, just being able to evolve and adapt to change. And I think some of the, I tend to think students coming out of school right now are pretty prone to change and adapting to circumstances. I know especially a lot of them have been adapting to different schooling this school year, and there's a resiliency there that I don't think high school students and middle school students get enough credit for. So that's great. The idea of they might be working and 5-10 years their job evolves into something different, and they'll probably be able to handle it better than maybe some other generations did. We'll just leave it at that.
I couldn't agree more.
Again, focusing on the high school audience that we're mostly talking to right now, if you had to give, or if you could give one piece of advice to the high school students watching this, what they might be looking to get into your industry, what would that one piece of advice be?
Don't be shy. Network. Get it out there, talk to people, be yourself, make connections with people. You can learn any industry, any trade, you can learn that, but connecting with people is a special skill set. And I think the more you do it, the better you'll become at it.
That's great advice. Mike, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. I'm sure you're very busy as the time we're recording this. It's close to the holidays. I'm sure you're moving all sorts of product right now, but we appreciate you taking time to meet with us and share your story. And I just want to say thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Thanks, Mike.
Take care.